Hi there and welcome to another episode of
Mr. Build Everything.
Today on the show, I've got my pair of Viberg 151 Contractor work boots with a steel toe cap, and I've had these for about 2 years, 2.5 years. I have a video out on when I first got them. Now I'm going to do a combination today. I'm going to clean them. These are pretty dirty. I've been using them at work as a contractor. So we'll go over cleaning them, and then we'll go over and see how they've stood the test of time. Okay, so the first thing we've got to do here is get the mud off these boots. And because this leather it's got a full leather vamp all the way up to the top, we don't need to worry about water getting inside the boot. So I've just got this big brush, and these are really caked with mud. Like I said, I do renovations, so I've been wearing them on the job site, inside, outside, even doing drywall, getting caked with drywall compound and all these things that dry out the leather. So I do try to oil them at least twice a year is what I've been doing. I should probably do it more often than that. You don't want the leather to dry out and start to crack. We're just gonna this is just hot water. Don't need any soap or anything. While I'm at it, I'm going to pull off my boot laces. There's grommets at the bottom and just hooks at the top. That'll give me access so I can clean inside the tongue here. I've got my boots here. Put them out in the sun. They're still not 100% dry, but that is fine. You got the dirt off of them. Okay, so here's all we need is a toothbrush. It's a regular toothbrush. It's got the bottom cut off. Hubert's shoe grease, a hard bristle brush, and a softer bristle brush. So the first thing I do is take the hard bristle brush, and any of that dust that's still on there, I brush it off. Make sure you get all the seams, get the leather stack on the heel, get in those seams, all that sand and that dust. You don't want that in there anymore because it's going to mix with our boot grease and get stuck. To open it up, you got some sawdust in here. You can use this toothbrush and get all that junk off. So I'll talk briefly about how these boots have held up. These are the ones with the toe caps, and I kick a lot of stuff. I do demo sometimes at work and literally smash through walls, smash studs in half. You can see, the leather's worn. There's a little bit of pitting in spots, and the heel from, sometimes I'll turn around and hit stuff with the heel because it's pretty hard too. But really, there's no major damage. All the stitching has held up, which I'm really impressed. All the stitching that's on around just the rim of the boot. The sole has got a bit of wear in the heel, because maybe I dragged my heels, but there's still tread on it. Even after 2.5 years, none of the nails have come out. The stitching in the sole of both boots is still fully intact. So it's great. There's no sign of separation. on the stack or anywhere else. There's no delamination anywhere. And really, when I buy regular work boots, I'll go through a pair every 4 months. So I wore these while I was fighting forest fires for a summer. We were out in Fort McMurray when that entire area was on fire, about a 500,000 hectare forest fire. So we were deployed there in 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, walking around in pits of coals. It was hot. It was not a nice place for leather boots. But these held up really well. I think I oiled them. I probably oiled them once when I was there. I carry around this little travel shampoo pack full of Viberg boot grease, and that's enough to grease them once or twice. If somebody asked me if I'd buy these again, absolutely. I do want to check out Nick's boots because my name is Nick mostly, but they're another boot company somewhere in the north central state. I don't want to say which one because I don't actually know, but I'd definitely try those out. I do love these boots. They're awesome. I've got the insoles out of my Timberlands in these just because they're comfortable. Yeah, and everything is held up great. They're still waterproof all the way up to the top of the vamp. You know, it's leather, so if you stand in the water for an hour, the water is going to permeate through. But they do really well in mud. I wear them. I do search and rescue. I wear them. We were out doing a search on a riverbank, so it was lots and lots of chunks of ice and mud. It was pretty sloppy, and boots held up great. They get great grip. I use them roofing. Okay, so now to the grease. So this grease, it comes out of the container. It's a little squishy, and what it does is it melts in your hand. So you have to apply it with bare hands because the heat from your hands will melt the grease essentially into the leather. As you can see here, you can see it start to glisten because it's melting into there. What I like to do is get my toothbrush first and grab some and do all of the seams. Because you want to protect the seams. This will help keep them waterproof. Of course, this grease, it's all natural. It's plant-based. There's no animal fats in there. But it smells like bacon. It's delicious. I seriously can't get enough of it. I would wear a cologne that smells like that if they made it. Viberg's grease cologne. And I get in all the seams so that you won't get any water penetration in there. And then on the stitching, I just go right across all of the stitching. These are the spots where you won't really be able to get into there with your fingers. So that's why it's good to use a toothbrush. Just grab your old toothbrush, it's great. You probably got some kicking around. And then I also get inside of here. It's another hard place to reach with your fingers. I'm going to get that with the toothbrush, and then the grommets, because I got fat fingers. I can't get in there. And then if you do this first, you do the seams first, then when you're going around and spreading it with your hand, the heat from your hand is going to melt some of that down and into the seams. Okay, so that's good for seams. I'm just going to take a little bit at a time, and you just rub it in. And I like to do one section, so I'll do just one section, so the heel. Make sure I get all of that. It's looking good. I'll really rub it in. I really should have done this a long time ago. These boots, they've been sitting. It hasn't been too wet lately, so I've been wearing my work shoes, like steel-toed shoes. I haven't been wearing these boots. So they've just been sitting, caked in mud. They're probably not too happy with me. But you're going to see, once these are oiled up, you will not be able to tell. These are 2.5-year-old work boots. I've had Timberland Pros, and it took me 4 months. It was one summer of forest firefighting to destroy those boots. I sent them back to Timberland because I was still in the warranty period, and they said, no, these are mangled. We're not going to cover these. They sent them back to me. So I'm not going to buy Timberland anymore. It's really worth, I think it's really worth, even if you pay $500 for a pair of boots, even if you only get 3 years out of them, and you got to send them in to get them rebuilt. What they'll do on a rebuild is they'll keep the uppers and rebuild everything else. You know, give you a new sole, new stack, replace whatever they need to, and you can get that done for maybe $200. So if you look, if you spread it out, you know, and that'll give you another 2-3 years. So if you spread that out, you pay $700 to own some custom, really well-fitting boots, good-fitting boots for 7 years, versus at the rate I do, I can go out and buy $100, $120 pair of boots once, twice a year, and 7 years, that's between $700 and $800 and, you know, $60, something like that. And then got those covered, and then make sure you get inside the grommets as well, and up the top of the vamp. And this stuff just smells great. And really, once you have the oil on, you can let it soak in. You don't have to leave it out in the sun or anything. Just put them away. You can wear them if you have to. It's probably better if you gave them some time to absorb the oil, because what's going on is this leather is skin. It's animal, cow skin, right? So your skin naturally produces oil. Of course, when the cow's dead, it's no longer producing any oil to keep that leather, keep that skin oiled and lubricated. So we have to perform that function, and you know, if you're a guy with oily hair, then you know you can produce a lot of oil in a day, and this leather isn't producing any. So if you're working somewhere or using these boots a lot where it's really dry, then it might be a good idea to do this once a week, once a month. It really depends. You'll be able to see they'll start to crack, the leather won't feel supple anymore, and that's when it's time to clean up your boots, give them a coat of oil. So if you compare these, the one I oiled, I don't know if you can tell, but this one is still pretty hard. This one already is a little more supple. At least I can tell when I feel it. So I'm just going to do exactly the same thing on this boot. When I have time, I like to do 2 coats, so leave them for maybe an hour if you can. Allow the oil to absorb, and especially in this case where I've neglected them for a while, I'm just going to quickly throw on another coat. Maybe I won't hit it with the toothbrush again, but just going to get some more on there because a lot of it's going to get sucked in to where the leather has already gotten quite dry. But it's exactly the same process. Once you've got it all oiled up, and you like it, you can put your laces back on there, and you should be good to go. I could easily see these things with the state of the sole going for another year or two. The only thing that might bother me is the heel getting worn, but apart from that, they're still in good condition, and when it comes time, I'll just call up Viberg and see if they can't maybe give me some new lowers and a new sole. So there you have it, just a quick video on my Viberg 151 contractor boots, on how to maintain them and how they've held up over the past 2.5 years of abuse. And let me know in the comments what kind of boots you're using, how you maintain them, how they're working for you, if you're planning on buying a nice custom pair of boots, or maybe you think it's a stupid idea, let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want, you can subscribe, get more similar videos, other workshop videos. And as usual, thanks for watching.